it's me making a video. Yay. Anyway, this you James character. Very bizarre. I probably can't read that. Maybe you can't read that either. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, it's a re-upload apparently. I didn't really pay much attention to that, so I probably responded to this in the past, but I'll do it again just for the fun of it. Because the guy's wacky. So anyway. I don't know what there is to say. I'll just play the video and then I'll say my piece.
Hello there, this is James Property James 1978, and because I made a passing reference to Inmendham's insane desire to exterminate all human life by sterilizing everyone in my recent video, Meaning Without God, as always...
Exterminate by sterilizing. Now, you don't see the problem with that? You know, sort of. I mean, that does sound a little dopey, doesn't it, to call it an extermination when the extermination is through non-reproduction? I mean, it's not through extermination. You do understand the difference between exterminators. Like, exterminators come here to kill bugs, let's say. Right? they don't make the bugs, like, unreproductive. You know what I mean? Anyway. Well, whatever. Let's not even talk about whatever that gibberish was in the beginning.
The video is down in the underbar, and I ask everyone to please read the comment for themselves. I received this comment from Zwezeb, which I have to say is either the ultimate self-ponage or the ultimate Poe.
Poe? What is that? Some sort of gay thing? What the fuck is that? What the hell are you talking about?
Inmendham only want to sterilize because it's the most humane way to reach his goal, to get rid of life. You completely misinterpreted him. If what you've said so far is true, then I've interpreted his position pretty damn accurately.
Well, that's like where you go way off base. Now, alright, so let me pose some questions to you. Let's say you got that big Ferris wheel thingy in Britain, right? Let's say it gets a little rusty and it starts throwing kids off now and then, you know. How many would have to die before you would say people aren't allowed to put kids on the roller coaster, on the Ferris wheel anymore? I mean, what's the number? Give me a number. What the annual death toll would have to be before you say they can't do that anymore. Another metaphor, analogy. I like this Frankenstein one. It just appeals to me. Alright, so Frankenstein is doing his little Frankenstein thing, right? And so, yeah, most of his little monsters come out okay. You know, they're efficient enough. They watch the Super Bowl and eat, you know, cotton candy when they're kids and do silly things, make videos on YouTube, you know, you know, get old and die. And, yeah, but a few of them get all Frankenstein-y. You know, they got the things on the neck and the scar and the flat head, and they're really big, and their clothes don't really fit, and their shoes are too tight, and they got a terrible thing with fire, and it's just no fun at all, and they're just miserable all the time. It's got a terrible migraine headache, and they're just really fucking uncomfortable. And so the mutant Frankensteins, you know, the ones that don't turn out quite right, they're sitting around and talk to each other and say, you know, we ought to do something about this Frankenstein shit, right? Because, you know, we just keep getting farted out, made by the machine, the Frankenstein castle, and, you know, we really ought to do something about it, right? And, you know, look at each other and say, yeah, we really should, because, you know, this is just going to keep happening unless we stop it from happening. And so their first course of action is to knock on Dr. Frankenstein's door and say, you know, Dr. Frankenstein, could you stop cranking that Frankenstein handle, please? You don't really have to do it, do you? And, like, we're paying the price for it. You know, it's almost like slavery. You're just basically saying that you're going to have acceptable losses. You're going to say, it's okay if we impose on me and Frank and Frank and Frank. You're saying it's okay to impose on us to do your little joy thing, you know, so you can eat some cotton candy and go all happy face, you know, and play with your little willies and stuff. And you're saying it's okay. You people pay the price. It's okay. You be the slaves. You be the fodder. You be the fertilizer for our crop. And yeah, we don't think that's right. So we'd like you to stop. And he says no. Well, I mean, you know, then me and Frank are, you know, okay, we'll go back down the hill and we'll go do some more talking and thinking. And we're going to basically come to the conclusion, well, if he's not going to stop, we're going to have to stop him, right? Because we can't let this keep happening. We're going to keep ending up being Frankenstein if we don't stop this fucker. Now, you can't understand that? I mean, just because you're all jelly belly, fun, smiley facey about your little life project doesn't mean you can do it at somebody else's risk. I mean, I've used this metaphor, but it's applicable. It's like drunk driving. You know, it's convenient and it suits you, right? It suits the drunk, but he doesn't have a right to impose. He doesn't have a right to drive his car into somebody's house when they're just sitting there, you know, thinking about how it sucks to be Frankenstein. He really just doesn't have a right to impose. And the only way you can do your reproduction thing until you mind control your kids, until you force them to be like you. You know, because I wasn't born from Frankenstein. You know, you get me? An antinatalist didn't give birth to me. I was given birth to by assholes like you, fucknut, silly putty morons, you know, who think they're on some sort of bold and wonderful adventure when all they're doing is eating and shitting like every other bug on this planet. Whoa, scared the fuck out of me. You snuck up on me. Fucker, what do you want? No, you're not. No, we're not doing that. No. We'll do something else. See, imposing. But it doesn't know better. You know better. You know what the word imposing means. This thing doesn't know shit about that kind of crap. Look, you got food in your cruddy dish. You eat the food you got in the cruddy dish. I'm sorry, you're not pleased with it. But I mean, you got 2 flavors of food in there plus dry food. I mean, you got nothing to complain about. Anyway, sorry. Little beastie. So really, you really got to write down the word impose and look at it for a while. And think about the fact is that you can't play your game, okay, without imposing the price. The price is going to happen. 1 million people every year are going to kill themselves. That's the price for your little life adventure. You know, 5,000 people are going to die in a Chinese coal mine. That's the price for your little adventure. You know, a certain number of millions of people are going to die of malnutrition and starvation. That's the price of your little game you're playing. Those are the victims. Those are the slaves to your industrial complex. Those are the slaves to your, oh, isn't it all just grand, spinning around on a stupid planet, accomplishing nothing. I mean, realistically, all right, you have a delusion in your head, okay, an addiction. You think the heroin is worth chasing. Rational brains look at the thing and they say, why would you do this? Why would you get yourself addicted to a silly Cheeto and pay this preposterous price to go chase your Cheetos? All right, what you're gaining, your moments of satisfaction in this existence are just that, little trivial, silly moments of joy. Ooh, I outsmarted my next-door neighbor and fucked his wife. I mean, little, Scrooge-esque, Ebenezer Scrooge-esque glory moments where I stole 50 cents at the store. I mean, the little bullshit that gives you a jolly is just that. It's bullshit. It's been there, done that. Been there, done that. It doesn't do a damn thing for anything else but you. Your deluded psychology. Your deluded need. Okay? It's your need that's the problem. It's not the Frankensteins that are the problem. It's you making them that's the problem, fucker.
And he's right. You are wrong. Life is disgusting, and the only reason why we live is because we are selfish and have addictions. I am selfish myself, and I want to pursue goals that I have which I concede as being meaningless.
Right, so instead of taking a perfectly rational statement like that and actually responding to it in some kind of articulate, meaningful way, you do nothing. You just sit there and take a shit.
I thought that the whole point of rebutting condemnation, of clarifying and explaining a particular position, was to make it sound better, not to underscore the fact that you are all simply genocidal misanthropes who honestly believe that just because your own pathetic and miserable excuse for a life has no meaning, human life has no meaning.
again, so you're just going to ignore the subject, right? You're just going to pretend that human life has meaning, and because you say it, and you have enough of you to say it, that means it's the truth. So you're just resorting to what? The argument from popularity? You're not making a rational argument explaining exactly what the function of life is in the universe. You're not explaining what itch it scratches, what comfort it gives the universe, what need it serves, what need it satisfies. Nothing. Because it doesn't do any of that, shithead. Okay? It accomplishes nothing. It's a car that never drives down the road. It just spins its stupid wheels, and it does it at the price of these misanthropes you speak of. Okay? I mean, and would you call all of them misanthropes? All the people who would say to you at the end of their life, I'd rather not have been? Every one of them? Jack Kevorkian? We could go down the list. There's Schopenhauer. We could go down, it's probably a pretty long list of people. When you ask them at the end of their life whether it was worth it, they would say, no, I really wouldn't do that again. I did the best I could with it, but yeah, it was kind of just bullshit. Just a big, giant pile of bullshit. You know, especially when I watched my 6 kids all die. You know, I mean, you know, this little fantasy you think life is. You know, life is, you know, brutal. Absolutely brutal. It has these pockets, these packets of just harsh, unrelenting, unmerciless brutality. And especially at the end of life, where it starts to take everything from the individual and gives them nothing back. Gives them nothing. Alright? Just takes and takes and takes. And for you to just talk like, you know, everybody who thinks this is a too messy, too sloppy, too imperfect, to be just without even question, just keep marching the march, just keep doing what we've always been doing. Be a good little goose stepper. Be a good little flag waver. I mean, that's all. You know how fucking ignorant you sound to anything with an intelligence. This fucking argument from we say so, believe it because we say so. We're convinced. We're addicted. You be addicted. It's like Dr. Pepper for heroin.
Full stop. So as I...
Full stop. Yeah, well, we full stop some more. Full stop. Ignore the argument. Come up with some kind of trash talking ad hominem. Exactly. And stick a candy cane in your nose so you sound like have some sort of, whatever, nasal defect from all the cocaine you've snorted. And now you can talk like a true intellectual.
Say, either you are the ultimate Poe, or this is honestly the type of person who supports this insanity.
Well, he obviously supports this type of insanity, this type of honest recognition that this system was created by a DNA molecule, okay, that it's just replication for the sake of replication, that it's consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, because it's an island planet, unfortunately, and addiction that motivates all the mammals anyway, and probably some other organisms. These are all not good things. They're in and of themselves no accomplishment to be made here. All right, you're just glorifying an insect march, okay, termite war, you know, and be a good little termite and do what a good little termite is supposed to do. Obey the DNA. I mean, you know, there's a real point here to be argued, and you need to do something more than just say life is good because I say so. I mean, it's just bullshit. You actually have to explain what it fucking accomplishes and how that accomplishment justifies the punishment that is bestowed by you drawing these straws for somebody else. You think you basically have a right to draw straws, hand them to little Frankie, and say, well, tough shit, Frankie, you got the short straw. You know, you got ALS, or, you know, got leukemia when you're 6 years old. Too bad, fucker. I mean, that's some kind of fucking... And you're going to call me insane? Or you're going to call me insensitive? And you're playing that kind of game with other people's existences? I mean, really, fuck you. This earth is a pigsty. Alright? We have turned this place into shit. Even that alone should be reason for you to have some pause. To say, well, yeah, maybe on reflection, if we end up with a World War III that kills 2 billion people, maybe it wouldn't be worth it. Maybe it wouldn't. Yeah, we can maybe have that conversation. Maybe we'll have the conversation about whether it's maybe worth it to kill 2 billion people, to maintain, the grand and beautiful human experiment. What is that? Stays crisp even in milk. Yeah, well, I don't know about Poe milk, though. Oh, God, such a weird character. What's this part? Irrational whole brain goodness. Yeah, I'm afraid not. You're just such an obnoxious, just ad hominem attacks. I mean, your attack on people who understand free will was just so insane. Like they're just coming up with some excuse to go steal candy from the baby or, rape the little golden child of free expression or something. Yeah, because they honestly recognize the fact that we're completely instruments of culture. That we wouldn't even be having this conversation 10,000 years ago because we didn't even have the language to have it in. Oh, God, you're stupid. So anyway, enough of this guy. Oof. Yeah. That was unpleasant. So anyway, yeah, just to answer the question. How many kids have to die on the big Ferris wheel for you to say, shut that thing off?